There we go. Good morning, everyone. So happy to be here. One moment while I do my weekly ritual of letting people know we're on. We've tried many ways to do this before I start my transmission, but either I haven't figured it out or you can't actually do it. So, bear with me. And we'll be done very, very soon. I have so many news to share with you today. I am very, very excited. Today we're having a special episode on health and healing. Okay, one more moment. And that's it. Oops. All right, Susie, bienvenida. All right, my notes fell. All right, all is well, people. Welcome, welcome, welcome to yet another episode. Oh, my logo is flying around. It's like a little mobile today, moving around, floating around in space. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Sound Bath Sundays. Today's episode is called Your Divine Self, Perfect Health. And I am going to start, as usual, with a little story about myself. First of all, this episode, I want to dedicate it to all of my friends at the inner circle. You know who you are. They're my mastermind peeps and their loved ones, as well as my loved ones. And anyone who is experiencing the, or suffering from any illness, whether it's something light or something serious, like the C word, right? We can't even say it because just saying the word just sends out some fear vibration, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. Now, some of you might know that I had last year was experiencing my own health journey, and I spent the best part of last year in Mexico with my parents undergoing a treatment. It was a really interesting and amazing time for me. First of all, I had been experiencing health issues for years and had been given diagnosis of fibromyalgia, lupus, everything under the planet, from everything really serious to doctors telling me, oh, your hair is falling out? Oh, you shampoo with Panthenol. At one point I got to my doctor in Mexico City and I told him, if you tell me to use shampoo with Panthenol, I am going to smack you and walk out of here, because one more doctor tells me to use shampoo with Panthenol and not believe me, and I'm done. And he started laughing, and actually he was a doctor who diagnosed me with hypothyroidism. And not only did I have a thyroid issue, I had goiter, which meant my thyroid had not worked for about 10 years, and it started getting enlarged. As it stops working, it just kind of oozes out. Usually people with goiter experience their symptoms, and you can see the lump in their throat. Mine was growing inwards into my vocal cords, and that's why we couldn't see it. Within a very short period of time, I started feeling a lot better, but my health issues remained, and a lot of the things that I underwent, I was suffering in silence and with my family. At one point, I was feeling so ill. We decided to go to yet another doctor, and it was my dad's endocrinologist. Within 15 seconds, he diagnosed me with something called CREST. It is a lovely cocktail of 5 illnesses, and bottom line, the end result would be me crumpled up in a wheelchair and not being able to take care of myself, and all like dehydrated, and maybe not even surviving that, because part of that illness is a total dehydration of your entire system. That includes not only your face, that's why I started getting like a little raisin, also your lungs, your organs, your inner organs. So when I got here, I was at a point where the doctor said, we're at a perfect point to beat this. We can do it in 4 months. It actually took 10 months, but I have to report that I was here when I first got here, I ran my tests, and there is no trace of the illness left in me. And it's a lot of it was the treatment, I know, and most of it was my mindset. When I got that diagnosis from the doctor, it was kind of scary, but he was so certain that there was no problem, we were going to beat this, that I felt really calm. It was after I went home and I was sitting at home alone and I got my lab results. They sent me an email with them. I had already gone back to the States. And I read in letters that it said CREST, and everything aligned with what the doctor had told me. I'm not going to lie, I went into panic. I had done all the research about the illness, and when I found out what the prognosis was, I was so afraid and so determined that I wasn't going to go through this that I started researching euthanasia clinics in Switzerland, because I was like, no, I am not doing this. I am not going through this. I'm sorry. I am checking out of this hotel. And I remember distinctively having a conversation with God, saying, I don't know why you're giving me this, and I appreciate it, but no, I'm not doing this. And in that moment, I declared myself healthy. I came back, I went through the treatment. At one point, my mom told me, you're acting like you're perfectly healthy, like you're all normal, and you're sick. And she was worried because she felt like I was overdoing things. And I looked at her and I said, yes, and get used to it, because I will not act like a sick person. Throughout the whole process, nobody really knew that I was going through it unless I would mention it. And I mentioned it to very few people because I didn't want people feeling sorry for me or feeling like, oh my God, or sending any of lower vibration into my system. I had enough hard time keeping myself vibrating at a high frequency in order to rise myself above this. Now, I made a decision. I am healthy, and this is it. There's no space in my being for any kind of illness. And I believe that is the main reason why I healed, or I allowed my body to heal itself. We all, and I talk about this constantly, I used to talk about it before I even knew what was going on with me. We all have an innate healing system, like nothing the doctors do. They kind of just help you get yourself into the mindset, because if they give you a medicine, it's really like a placebo effect. You're believing that that medicine is going to make you well. It allows your body to align itself and heal you, because we have an innate system that does that. We come equipped with that. And when you align your energies and you take out your blockages from your body, from your energy system, you go back into what's called homeostasis, which is the normal, perfect health that your body came in when it was born. Usually most people come in 100% healthy. And it allows your body to heal itself. You take away all the stress. When you calm your body down, when you release the fear, release the emotions that are keeping you in a negative state, release the anger, the resentment. At one point I was angry with God. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, why are you doing this to me? And I felt really like a victim. It's like, why are you doing this to me? And I felt like it was really God punishing me for something, and it wasn't. It was simply that I was out of alignment with my own self. I was holding on to unforgiveness. I was holding on to resentment to people in my life that I hadn't been able to release. And I kept doing all the work on forgiveness that you can imagine. Anybody would tell me a forgiveness ritual, I would be doing it. I mean, I've sent balloons into the sky. I have done fire ceremonies. I have walked over hot coals. I'm not lying. For 25 feet over hot coals to release all the resentment and the anger. And I just hadn't been able to do it because I was focusing on those emotions and fighting them and trying to release them. And what you resist persists. So the more you try to release resentment, the resentment will get stronger and stronger and stronger, and you won't be able to release it because resentment finds a suitable party to spar with. And it'll be, oh, you want to get rid of me? Well, here I am, and I'm not going to go away. However, when you take your focus off of resentment and focus on what you really want, right? If in this case we're going to focus on perfect and divine health, when you start affirming every day, I am perfectly healthy, I'm perfectly vibrant, I am happy and joyful, and I'm going to enjoy this day as if I'm 100% healthy, then you take the attention off of the illness, off of the weeds that are growing in your mind. I've been reading about the teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy, and today's talk, everything I'm going to teach you today is based on some of his teachings, and I've adapted what I've learned so far to perfect health. And when he was saying that, ask a farmer about weeds, and they say, oh, I'm not worried about the weeds. When the crops grow, they get rid of the weeds. So we have to focus on our crop, and our crop is going to be divine and vibrant health. So let's get started. Number one, infinite intelligence is responsive to you and will answer when you call. I have to say one more thing about God. It is so funny that when I was little, I knew that my mission in this life was to let people know that God existed. And I still wasn't clear about how this God thing worked, or if it was really some person being out there in the sky. But it's so ironic that I was born into a family of agnostics. So they're like, oh, who is this woman, this child who wants to become a nun when I was 11? It's like, no. It's like, get that thought out of your head, right? So for me, God is my own divine mechanism that has my heart pumping, my blood flowing, every part of me that is keeping me alive without me having to do a darn thing. So you can call it God, you can call it divinity, you can call it the ether, the higher power, your higher self, however you want to relate to it. I choose to call it God. So infinite intelligence is responsive to you and will answer when you call. Here it is. It's all in the Bible. And remember, I'm no Bible scholar, but there are certain things that I've heard about the Bible that totally resonate with me. One of them is ask and you shall receive. When I was getting certified with Access Consciousness, one of the first things they taught us was ask and you shall receive. And Gary Douglas explained to us that When you ask, it's not about pleading or begging. And this I've read in many, many modalities, that it's not asking, oh God, please help me. Oh God, please do this for me. No, it's ask a question and the universe will answer. So you could ask, I wonder what new procedure I am going to find today that will help me regain my perfect health. I wonder what state of mind I should be in today that will allow me to regain my perfect, vibrant health. And start asking questions of that type, and the universe will bring the answers to you. For example, when I was thinking about this talk today, I had no clue what I was going to talk about or how I was going to structure this and how I was going to give you something practical and tangible that you could apply in your life immediately, like right now. That is always my goal, right? Having you do stuff with me, even along with me, and creating that transformation instantly. It's like if somebody tells you, I have a shortcut to your work and it's going to save you 20 minutes, you don't spend 3 days pondering on whether you should take the shortcut, right? You just take it. It immediately creates a savings of 20 minutes. Why are you not going to take it? So everything that I teach and share with you guys, I'm trying to make sure that it's practical and that you can apply instantly and get tangible results. So ask and you shall receive. Start asking, how can I regain my perfect health? What am I holding on to that if I released it, I would regain my perfect health? When we start blaming situations, government, persons in our life, things that are happening around us for our state of anger, frustration, we start holding on to those energies and creating lower vibrations that create situations such as cancer. The second thing is, before you ask, he has answered. So how does this work? Well, it's before you ask this question, the universe has already answered. And the way I finally understood this is that when you ask to be in perfect health, perfect health already exists. Love already exists. Harmony already exists. All we have to do is become aligned with those situations, and we will immediately, instantly be harmonious with these states of being. So you don't really have to invent perfect health for yourself. Perfect health is your natural state. You have to align yourself with that natural, innate state of perfect, vibrant health within yourself, and you will immediately start to regain that health. All right? And the third thing is, know that it is done. So when you ask about it, you have to have that faith. And it's more than faith. It's a step up, and it's that knowing that it is done. When I was going through my issues, I literally made a decision. I chose health, and I lived health, and I had hard days. I had issues with my treatment. Like my treatment, when I first got the first infusion that they were giving me, it turns out that I was allergic to the vehicle in which the medicine was contained. And I was breaking out on the inside, and I couldn't even explain it. I was like, I'm breaking out. I had lumps that were showing up inside of me. And they were like, oh my God, okay, so this treatment is exactly for that not to happen. We don't understand what's going on. Thankfully, my doctor he told me he'd been in emergency care for many years, and his mentor had told him that a lot of people have an allergy, not to the medication, but to the vehicle in which it's floated. So he was able to give me a bunch of treatments before the infusion happened, and that would counteract the situation. But I had obstacles, but in the whole process, I was living from a place of perfect health, not from a place of illness. So if you are going through something like that, when you start living your days from a place of perfect health, perfect joy, and choosing to be happy in the moment, that alone, that choice of that 5 seconds or 3 seconds that you can sustain your joy is going to elevate the frequency of your entire system. So when you know that it is done, there is no room for doubt. You stop doubting even when the obstacles show up, even when things aren't going your way, even when things look grim around you, even when everything around you is a proof of the contrary of what you're choosing to believe. And sometimes that is difficult, that is hard, but when you just open yourself to the possibility, you can't sometimes go from, okay, I'm perfectly healthy, if you're going through metastasized cancer in your bones. And the doctors are telling you, okay, get ready because you're not going to be here for long. That's not easy. Okay, fear will take a grip on you, and you can't just all of a sudden believe, oh, I'm healthy, because it's not a Pollyanna way of thinking that's going to create that change in you. It is a slow progressive, and sometimes it is very quick when you start choosing to feel just a little bit better, or choosing to be open to the possibility of actually being able to heal. You may not believe that you are healthy already because the evidence is pointing to the opposite and the absolute contrary of what you're trying to accomplish with your mind. However, if you open yourself to the possibility, even the remote possibility of me being able to heal, then you start elevating your vibration little by little by little. And today we're going to have a sound bath that will allow you just to let go of every thought, every idea, every concept that you have held on to, or take you away for a moment from the evidence that is showing you that you are ill, to allow your body to have a little break and align itself with its own healing mechanism. Now, number 2. Trust the God power within to sustain you and watch over you at all times. When we get situations that we feel that are gigantic, or that we can't figure them out, whether it's how to run your business, how to have wealth flowing in your life, how to have abundance, how to have perfect health, we doubt that power within us to be able to accomplish it, and we start searching outside of us. Right? There's a book, I think it's The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, where this guy just goes all over the world looking for his answers, and when he comes home, he realizes he had the answers within always. So when we keep looking and asking, and it is imperative in this point in your life, if you are experiencing a health issue, especially if people are telling you that it's that you have X amount of time to live, which I think that we all have our internal clock, and we all have the time when we have decided to go, how we decided to go. I think it's all set. Maybe it isn't, but I don't believe in people telling me and acting like God and telling me I have a certain amount of time to live. I think that's really divine intelligence. And when you stop listening and you start going within, even if you are going to leave soon, even if your days are numbered and you have very few of them, I believe that choosing to be at peace with yourself creates magic and allows you to live fully the time that you have left with whatever circumstances are surrounding you or showing up in your life. So stop looking outside for help. Stop looking outside for the answers that resonate with you. You will know, oh, this treatment will work for me. You will know, oh, this is just going to kill me faster. oh, this might work, but am I willing to sacrifice my well-being during the time to risk it not working? I know a lot of people who go through so much suffering, so much pain with treatments, and in the end they go anyway, and they regret not having spent more time with family, more time at peace, more time just being. And that is, the answer for that is only within you. So when you take the time to sit and listen to your higher self, to your divine self, how it speaks to you, you will maybe miraculously hear about a clinic. You know, when I was going through stuff, I heard about these clinics that I would have never heard about, that I now can recommend to people. Like there's a group of US doctors that were persecuted so badly for doing natural cures for cancer. They literally left and went to Tijuana and set up a clinic there that has been amazingly successful with natural ways of healing, with different processes that they have come up with. And they are indeed helping people heal from cancer. There's another clinic here in Puebla that's supposed to be absolutely amazing. I would have never heard of those things if I hadn't gone through my experience. Now, were they the right things for me? Not at the time, but they came to me, and now I'm able to sometimes direct people to those places and healing situations, okay? So when you look outside of yourself, you are denying the riches of God. You are denying that you are a powerful being. And you steal your power, your wisdom, and your intelligence from your own self. So when you start believing yourself as a spiritual being of grandeur, this is how Dr. Joseph Murphy says it, and you recognize your divinity, you will always know what's next, right? You will always know what is the next step. And you can, number 3, rise over all conditions. And this is how. You can exalt and love the God presence within you. Start recognizing that thing that keeps your heart pumping and blood flowing. And if it keeps you alive that way, why couldn't it heal you? So recognize that as a power. Refuse to accept suffering and never resign yourself to any situation. That is part of knowing it is done, right? When you refuse, this is okay, this is what I'm going through, but this does not have to define me. This does not have to be me. And then you can lift yourself up mentally over all conditions and circumstances. I was blessed enough to have sound in my life, and I believe that has been instrumental in helping me overcome my health challenges and keeping myself in a vibrant state of health and healing. Now, when you start going into fear, I have found that doing affirmations, and remember, if you don't believe them, you have to create the affirmation that actually resonates with you. So I took an affirmation from Dr. Murphy on wealth, and I kind of did my own recipe for health. And I added some things, and I just created this affirmation that I'm going to share with you. And if you'd like, and if you're going through a health challenge at the moment, you can repeat it, you can say it out loud, you can say it in your head. Just repeat it with me and just feel if it feels good in your body. Because the answer is, when it feels good, you're on the right path. I am now writing in my subconscious mind. So you write it in your subconscious, especially in the few moments when you wake up and in the few moments before you go to sleep. They're called the hypnagogic and hypnopompic states. You don't have to remember that. But they're that point in time where when you're just waking up and when you're just about to go to sleep, when you're more highly programmable, when you are able to reach your subconscious mind without the gatekeeper, without anything saying, oh, you're wrong, oh, that's not true. You know, that thing that tells you, oh, that's BS, that doesn't work, blah, 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 that little voice in your head that's always counteracting and contradicting whatever your choices are. So you're able to, go above and above or around the gatekeeper And it's easier to start believing these things and changing actually the chemistry in your body. So here is the affirmation. I am now writing in my subconscious mind the idea of God's health. God is the source of my vibrant and perfect health. And all my needs are met at every moment in time and point of space. God's health flows freely, joyfully, and ceaselessly into my experience. I give thanks for God's health forever circulating in my experience. I am aligned with God's perfect plan of abundant health, wealth, and love. God is my instant supply, and when I ask, He delivers in divine order. I and God are one. I and perfect health are one. And so it is. And so now, with that affirmation still running in our energy, we're going to welcome Harry. Hello, Harry. And we are going to put our feet flat on the floor, uncross your legs if they're crossed. Put your hands, palms facing up on your thighs, and take 3 to 6 cleansing breaths in through your nose. Hold for a couple of counts, and then release with a big ah. And breathe in, and hold, and release with a and you will hear the breaths of my live audience here today. resentments from my energy field, from my physical body, and from my mental plane. Whenever you're ready, take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And when you're ready to come back, hi Steffi, you can do a little stretch, open your eyes, do a few more cleansing breaths. Oh, there goes my little lights. All right, let's give you guys a second to come back. Wiggle your toes if you're feeling like you're still out there and you want to come back. If you want to continue on this feeling, you can just turn me off and keep going. All right, welcome back. So I hope that sound bath really helps you align and just get out of your head and allow the fear and the anguish and the resentments, everything to just melt away, allowing love to just flow out of you, because you're a love machine, right? So when we get other emotions on top of that, we are not allowing our love to flow. So allow your love to flow through your body. Give yourself that love first, and then send it out to everybody else. Today is a very special day. They have named today, October 13, Handpan Day. Yay, so happy Handpan Day, Harry. We're celebrating with Harry today. It's his day. The other thing is that next week I've been again asked to give my sync learning class to the Master Key Experience people. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Master Key. The Master Key is a book that I read many years ago. And here's a funny story of manifestation. So I read this book a long time ago by Charles Haanel. And it is a book that you have to do over 26 weeks. So it's a 6-month thing, right? So every week you read a chapter and you work on the exercises. But me being me, not being very consistent, I did the book, but I didn't do all the weeks, and I kind of skipped around. I didn't do it properly, but everything I did from the book really helped me. So one day I remember thinking, I wish I could have a group or someone that would literally hold me by the hand and make me do this book correctly, because I keep jumping around and I just forget, and I leave it in the shelf for 3 weeks, and then I come back and I forgot what I did the last time. And wouldn't you know it, within, it couldn't have been more than a week, I see this guy on this thing online saying, oh, the Master Key Experience, whatever, and it's a thing where you go with the group for 6 months and they hold you accountable. And I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. So they said they were giving scholarships. So here I am. I remember staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning, because they were in Hawaii giving all the instructions of everything you had to do in order to apply for this scholarship. And I was like, check, check. And finally I'm like, okay, I have everything in my application. I sent my submission and I went in. Well, it was a really amazing experience. The next year I was invited to become a guide, and I became one of their guides. And after that time being a guide, I realized that there was a lot of reading involved, and I would be more of a contribution becoming their speed reading expert and teaching all the people in the experience how to speed read. So this is going to be my 4th season doing this. It's amazing. So they've invited me back, and next Saturday we're going to do the speed reading class. Now, for my peeps, if you guys are interested in it or really committed to having your life change, I'm telling you, speed reading is amazing. You'll not only learn how to triple your reading speed, or some people quintuple, sextuple, and go crazy with it. You can do as much as, there's no limit. But the side effects of speed reading are tremendous. Your life starts becoming, it's basically you start activating your magic wand in your life, and speed reading has been an amazing gift in my life. I always want to share it. So if you're interested, send me a PM, I'll send you the details, and I'll have you come as my guest. All right, that's the one thing. The next thing is, yes, if you would like to help me in some way, I'm going to ask today, please follow me on YouTube or subscribe to my channel on YouTube, because I need 1,000 people on the channel in order to be able to transmit live from my phone, from wherever I am. And I think it would be a more enriching experience if I'm able to do that. For now, I'm still uploading my programs and doing some lives, but it's just, once you hit 1,000, it kind of just opens the world of YouTube for you. So if you would be so kind, follow me on YouTube, go into YouTube and just put in the search bar Hannah Healing, and you will get my channel. Subscribe, I would love it, I would appreciate it, and I'd love to see you there. And if you are interested in how the mind actually works, the reticular activating system, how to reach your subconscious mind in a more efficient way, you might want to get my 3-part video that I gift you for subscribing to my website, becoming part of my tribe. You'll get, as a thank you, a 3-part video all about that and about how sound can change your life. Anyway, I love you. Happy Sound Handpan Day to Harry. Happy healing to all of you, and I will see you next week.